Operant conditioning, reward and punishment. I'm sure you've heard of the second and not so much the first. Operant conditioning, better known as reward and punishment, is a psychological theory that states that behaviors that are rewarded will often be repeated in nature, while behaviors that are punished will be repeated significantly less. Now, I'm sure we're all familiar with this theory, as our parents often used it to incentivize and influence our behaviors growing up. For example, if you got an A on a test, they might have taken us out for ice cream, put that A on the refrigerator, or even told their friends, which made us feel good. To repeat the reward, we would repeat the behavior. Now, on the flip side of things, when we did something that was not in line with the standards of being good, such as sneaking out of the house, maybe skipping school, or going to see a boy that we were not supposed to see, then our parents might have grounded us, taken away our technology, or given us another form of punishment that they deemed appropriate or necessary. To avoid that punishment, we avoided the behavior. At first glance, this theory can be proved useful to incentivize and influence our behaviors to be good and to be productive. But when you take a closer look at it, it can also incentivize and influence behaviors that are not as productive. Introducing the cycle of avoidance. Now you might be wondering, how is there any reward to avoidance? You can only see the consequences. You can only see the consequences of avoiding a certain task, but there is a reward. The reward is a momentary sigh of relief, a moment to escape the anxiety that might surround the uncomfortability of a certain task, of a certain conversation, of maybe this assignment. And you might be wondering, Alexis, why are we standing here today talking about reward and punishment, talking about the cycle of avoidance when you should be talking about yourself? And that's because I am talking about myself. This cycle is the reason that I'm standing here today as a third-time college student after failing out of my first two institutions. I quickly went from an A student to an F student 2 times because of the cycle of avoidance. I avoided tasks, I avoided assignments, I avoided those uncomfortable conversations with my professors, and therefore I stayed stagnant in my life. And honestly, if I didn't realize what this cycle was, and I didn't understand why I was repeating these behaviors that didn't serve me, that didn't move me forward in my life, I wouldn't be in this class trying to change and break that cycle. I'm here today as a third-time college student to find what's on the other side, what's on the reward side of completing a task versus avoiding it. Because from where I'm standing, avoiding something just keeps you stagnant. And completing it, well, that moves you forwards.